This is Ryan DeMattia. This is our final role play for sales class. The situation is that Terry is a local coffee shop owner. I've met Terry before briefly, but we haven't really gotten a chance to talk about cloud receipts any beyond the basic idea. So today's the first time that I'm talking to him about the idea in the context of his business, but we have met before. Hey Terry, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I've been great. So just to refresh your memory, my name's Ryan DeMattia and I'm with Cloud Receipts. And I actually wanted to take a chance and let you know I really like the atmosphere that you have in here. It has a really unique feel.
Great. I'm glad you like it. We really pride ourselves on creating a unique atmosphere and experience for all our customers.
That's great, and that's actually part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you today, that unique experience. Our team has actually been able to help a few other locally owned coffee shops improve customer relationships and experience with digital loyalty rewards. So today I just wanted a chance to learn a little bit about your business and see if we could help you like we helped them.
Well, I definitely care about building a relationship with my customers, but some kind of software program for loyalty reward sounds like it'd be quite expensive. We have to stay budget focused, and with how small our operation is, I kind of doubt we can afford it.
I understand your concern about staying budget focused. It's actually something we're really familiar with. A lot of the other clients that I was just talking about, they had the same exact feelings about cost when they first started exploring digital loyalty rewards. But after we discussed their business in a little more detail, we actually found together that they could save money in the long run in developing their customer base, improving customer acquisition, and retention. And in the end, it actually cut their total cost of ownership overall and helped their bottom line. So if we could take some time right now to discuss your operation with a little more detail, we could just see if we could help you guys in the exact same way.
Okay, well, that sounds reasonable enough.
Great. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take a few notes during the meeting just so I can keep track of everything and not forget anything that you tell me.
Sure, that's no problem. Go ahead.
Great. Well, the first thing I want to learn about, Terry, is how you go about implementing new services or programs. What's your process for starting anything new in the store?
Well, I'm a pretty busy guy. This is my place, and everybody's calling my name here and there and everywhere. Usually one of my managers will come to me with an idea that came from a customer behavior they've noticed. Sometimes it'll be one of our better employees who's been around for a few years, so they notice these things. If I like the idea and it's too difficult or expensive to try, we'll give it a shot and see if our customers like it.
Interesting. So it sounds like you rely on your employees and their experiences a lot, but ultimately you're the one who makes all those decisions.
You got it. That's right. This is my coffee shop after all.
Right. Absolutely. So if I could, I'd like to learn a little bit more about your customer base. Could you describe your core customer group for me?
Sure. Our most important customers are our regulars. They come in usually on their way to work, sometimes 3, 4, even 5 days a week. They're the backbone of my business for sure. Most of them usually order the same thing every day, and they're trying to get in and out pretty quickly.
Right. So it sounds like these regulars are really important to your business. Have you ever tried offering any type of loyalty rewards or anything like that, like some of the bigger coffee chains?
Yeah, actually we have. We did try those punch cards for a little while, but
Right.
customers didn't really use them too much. They would have multiple cards with different amounts of punches, and they would want to combine them, or they would lose them and get frustrated. We actually had a few kids punch a few of them and try to get a free coffee too, so that's when we just decided to cut it out.
Wow, yeah, that sounds like it must have been a headache. So if I understand correctly, then the frustrating part with that was really just having to do it all manually and handle everything by yourself.
Yeah, definitely. The little paper cards, they were pretty cheap, so it didn't really hurt to try. But it wound up being a pain to do it, so we wasted too much time on it. I know Starbucks, they have these swipe cards and the whole digital system.
Right.
They have the points and everything, but that just sounds like it's going to cost a fortune and probably even harder to manage. And I can't waste a lot of labor hours all day managing this reward system.
Right, absolutely. Like you said, you have a lean operation, you can't waste time or money.
Exactly.
So from what I'm hearing, it sounds like your biggest concerns when it comes to trying any type of new program or promotional campaign are cost and ease. Could you elaborate a little bit more and give me some insights on how that affects the way you adopt new ideas?
Sure. Well, I kind of think I'm pretty progressive, but I'm also logical.
Right.
Okay? I love trying out new things as long as it won't ruin us. One of our employees told us about that iPad checkout system,
Yeah.
and we got to try that out, and the whole staff really loved it. It kind of made it really easy. Our customers thought it was pretty cool too, and since we seem to be saving money, we decided just to keep it.
So it seems like the big part of pulling the trigger on that app was the fact that you guys actually got to try it out, and you were able to see if your customers and staff liked it.
Right, right. We knew it was a good fit before we had to pay for it. And when we did pay for it, we were able to see that it would start saving us money after about 15 months or so. It was great to be able to try it without much risk. I think cool new ideas like that one are one of the key ways we were able to compete with big chains like Starbucks and the others.
Absolutely. That makes complete sense. So if I could summarize what we've been talking about then, your key concern is building and maintaining that relationship with those backbone customers. And the reason you want to do that is because you're really trying to compete with some of those big dogs like Starbucks. And you've tried loyalty rewards before. You said you have those punch cards, but those wound up being more of a pain than a benefit just because of how difficult they were for you to manage. And so when you implement new things, rather than being difficult, you'd like to know that it's easy and that it definitely works before you have to pay for it. Am I getting across what you feel?
Yeah, pretty much. But there's one other thing, it's got to work with whatever system we're using.
Right.
Okay, I'm kind of a numbers guy too, so when we have these discount days, I love to do the math and see how it affects our bottom line and our sales. Being able to see the numbers confirm that a promo campaign actually improves that, our sales, it kind of makes me feel good about running it again.
So do you have any other concerns when it comes to new promo campaigns or anything like that?
That's pretty much it, more or less.
Okay, so if you could see the numbers for how a campaign could improve your bottom line for sure, before you paid for it, it would be worth it to you then?
Oh, sure. It'd be as good as any other ideas we tried before.
Okay, so from what I can tell, your top concerns are, in general, are ease, cost effectiveness, and then obvious benefit for your customers. Out of those three, what would you say is most important?
Well, cost is key. That'd be first for sure. It can't break the bank. After that, I'd say the customer part. If we're going to spend any time or effort on it, we have to know it's doing some good. If those two things are satisfied, then it can't be too frustrating to actually implement.
Absolutely. Okay, so cost is number one. And if we're talking about cost, how long do you think it would take for you to run something in your store before you knew if it was cost effective or not?
I'd probably say after about a month, maybe 5 up to 6 weeks or so, we'd be able to tell if customers are using it enough to be worthwhile. And in that time we could get the numbers to see if it was really helping our bottom line. Right.
Okay. So maybe 5 to 6 weeks, you could really tell if a loyalty program was benefiting you guys. So in that 5 to 6 weeks, in terms of ease, how long do you think it should take for your store to get used to it and for your staff to become familiar with it?
Okay. Well, just for reference, when we got this iPad system, we had a 2-day crash course, a couple hours each day that covered how it worked.
Okay.
After that, most of the staff picked it up really quickly. Some of them already have iPads themselves, so
Right.
it's kind of just next step. And so they were very comfortable within like the first week. It took us a little over 2 weeks to get used to it on the back end in terms of bookkeeping and everything, make sure it integrated with our system. Yeah, so we were really happy with that time frame for a product.
I imagine that was a really smooth setup. It sounds like it wasn't too bad at all. So I guess my last question to that is, how did you measure that real positive impact on your customers then? How do you tell?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, for that situation, they just flat out told us,
Really?
Or you could just see it on their face. Not too many stores have those, so it's
it's still pretty
it's a
new.
new thing. Yeah, so the first time a customer tries it, we flip over the iPad for them to sign their credit card statement right there with their finger. Most customers think that's a really cool experience.
Yeah, no, I bet.
Right, and we had some customers come out and say they like the iPads and that felt it actually sped up the process for them.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like it was a no-brainer after that point. So if I could distill those specifications, it sounds like you like 4 to 6 weeks to try out new systems in your store. You expect to be able to get used to it in the first 2 though, and it should be that easy. And so during that trial time, if it's cost effective and your customers show you that they like it, that's how you decide to keep using it.
Yeah, that's right. You pretty much got it.
Great. So if Cloud Receipts could do something like that for you, do you see any reason why you wouldn't, explore them as an option?
No, that sounds good so far.
That's great because I feel like we actually have a really, really solid opportunity together. and I think our team could actually really help meet your needs. What Cloud Receipts has is actually a pilot program where we'll allow you to test our software system in your store for 6 weeks before you even have to pay for it. We provide you an easy interface that allows you to log in yourself as the owner and set up whatever rewards programs you want. From there, customers have an app on their phone, and the rest of the process is automated, so you don't have to have any headaches about managing it.
Wow.
We have an integration team. They come in and they install it for you, so you don't have to do any technical troubleshooting. And they even give you a crash course, just like you got with the iPad checkout app. So they'll make sure that your staff's familiar with it.
Wow, it sounds like you guys have quite the service.
You know, Terry, we really like to think so. So what I'd like to do today is get you registered for that pilot program. What I'll do is I'll get a few more details from you right now, and we can schedule an appointment for a technical specialist to come out and survey your store. They'll take a look at your software system, see what you're using, and then at that point they can give you an exact price on how much our software would cost after the pilot program. You know, after that, we could set up that install date and crash course, and then you have the 6 weeks to try it out, talk to your customers, run the numbers, and see if we can really help your bottom line. So how does that sound?
Man, all that sounds fine. I'm game as long as you guys don't need a financial commitment up front.
Absolutely. That's the whole idea of our pilot program. You won't have to pay us a thing until you know for sure we're delivering on our ability to improve your customer relationships and your bottom line.
Well, that's definitely reassuring. Let's do this, okay? I think this will be a really good help for us to compete with the likes of Starbucks and those other chains.
You know, I do too, Terry. I'm really excited to do business together, and I think we can do great things for one another.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Cool. I'll leave you my card. If you have any questions, feel free to call me.
Okay.
Until then, we'll have the technical specialist out in a few days, and we'll move forward from there.
Good. Sounds good. Thanks.
Great. Can't wait to talk to you again, Terry.
Very good.